Calling all SCP Foundation staff. Calling all SCP Foundation staff. This is Dr. Theron Sherman broadcasting live. Do you read me? I am looking in the chat, seeing if you are getting our signal, stabilizing our signal as best we can, reticulating splines. If you hear us broadcasting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe and all that YouTube business using your Foundation-issued encrypted YouTube account. That is your encrypted Foundation account, not your civilian account. Steve. Sound check, chat, do you read? Are we coming through? It seems we're having some signal problems. I cannot seem to get a read on the chat. I am refreshing my screen, seeing if I can see and or hear y'all. Alright, I'm getting word through alternate channels that we are audible, which is, you know, that's a nice thing for a stream to be. Checking the chat one more time, making sure I can read you guys. Alright, I am reconnected. Now I see that you all do not recognize the bodies in the water, which is a very good thing not to recognize. But you do recognize the sound of my voice. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, which means we are live. So let's get this show on the road, no further delays, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey there, Foundation staff, this is Dr. Theron Sherman, but you can call me Sherm. Welcome to another anomalous broadcast from Site-42. For anyone unfamiliar with how our show goes, the rundown's like this. Number 1, I brief you on any new Site-42 business, new projects, new team-ups, all that kind of stuff. B, I introduce our guest for this week's show, if we have one. 3, myself and Schrodinger's guest read and discuss an SCP article. If it's the author, usually it's one they wrote. 4, we read off and answer your super chats to close the show. And 5, for Site-42 patrons, we do a quick 20 to 30 minute bonus chat stream, the link to which shows up in your Patreon feed 5 to 10 minutes after the stream ends. Remember that if you enjoy the show, Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know using your Foundation-issued encrypted accounts, Steve. And if you really want to help us out, become a patron at patreon.com/Site42. For tonight's Site42 business, let me show you first and foremost. Myself and a bunch of SCP authors and a bunch of non-SCP artists are collaborating on a physically published SCP Anthology book. The SCP Redacted Anthology is going to be a pretty bound book of several SCP stories written by members of the community, as well as people who are not part of the SCP community. Now, why would that be cool? Because it's people who are famous artists in other senses. I'll scroll back up to this. So G.D. Falkson, dude who's written a whole lot of books. Tara Platt, voice actress extraordinaire. Yuri Lowenthal, mother-flipping Spider-Man, is in this book with us. I don't know Phil Bricado, but must be a cool guy if he's in the book with us. Our local friend, Dr. Cerise, who will be joining us shortly. I don't know KW Jeter. I never heard of that guy, but I'm sure he must be fine. Kyle, I don't even see his face. He has been fully redacted. Oh, DJ Cactus is in this book with us. Tanfarad's in the book with us. Dork Toast is in the book. The list goes on and on. You can check this out in the link. I don't need to go the whole thing. Right now, we've already funded the book itself, so that's a good start, but our next goal is to hit the stretch goal of $8,000 so we can get hardcover editions, because if I am going to have this as a table book on my coffee table, I want it to be the nice, pretty hardcover version. So we're trying to sell about 500 books. That'll get us to the 8,000 that we need. So, link in the bio if you want to get a copy of that. Maybe if we get the hardcover, I'll buy an extra one and give away a signed copy or something like that. So, our second order of Site42 business for the evening and final is that friend of the channel, Toad King of Foundation After Midnight Radio Podcast, has made these dope Site42 parking passes for your vehicle. Any vehicles parked in the Site42 parking lot that do not have the parking permit are going to be towed. And by towed, I mean that we're going to let Dr. Gerald drive your car, which means, well, you know. So make sure to get your parking permit. So make sure to get your parking permit. Support Site42 Studios and Toad King, our #1 SCP merch selling dude. Makes all the best buttons and pins and stuff like that at the link in our description. With all of that out of the way, it is time for me to bring on our guests. So tonight's show, we are reading SCP-6336. Nope, SCP-6636, titled Redeveloped, written by author Dr. Cerise, who has done us the honor of joining us this evening. So let's switch it over and say hello to Dr. Cerise. Hello!
Hello!
Good evening, my friend. Introduce yourself to the chat.
Hello! I'm Dr. Cerise, or Necro Kitten, or just call me Nikki. It's fine. That's me.
That's me!
It's me!
You can find Dr. Cerise on TikTok at @DrCerise_SCP, and you also are going to be representing the Foundation on Roku. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes. Yes, sir.
What is this Foundation file show you're starting up?
Well, it's mostly going to be, I don't even think variety show is the proper words, but it will be showcasing SCP artists, SCP content creators on TikTok, YouTube, etc. SCP authors will be reading SCP articles, and it's basically just a hodgepodge of SCP content for 2 hours on Otherworlds TV on Roku.
And so, if you want to watch it, you need to get a Roku.
Yeah. We also have a YouTube channel, but that is not quite set up yet, but you know, keep your eyes peeled.
In the works.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are reading SCP-6636 tonight. Do you have anything the chat should know about this article going in?
I feel like I should, but I kind of I prefer it if you just sort of go through it yourselves.
Are
and
there any
read it for the
content
first time.
warnings before we dive in?
Oh, nothing too crazy.
Not for
Nothing too
Foundation
crazy.
standards, anyways.
No.
All right, in that
No.
case, let us move over to the browser view and let us dive into tonight's article head first. SCP-6636, Redeveloped. Let me move my mic into the optimal reading position. And let's take this from the top. Notice from the Foundation Records and Information Security Administration. Test logs and subsequent notes are to be preserved as they currently are. Testing will continue under supervision, along with a mandatory psychiatric evaluation after each development cycle. Signed, Maria Jones, Director, Riza. Item number, SCP-6636. Object class, Safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-6636 is to be stored within Site-42 in the confines of a locked and refrigerated opaque canister. Represent... Last week, Grigori had us in Site-43. We were so close. The temperature must be set to 13 degrees Celsius or less at all times when SCP-6636 is not being actively tested to avoid further damage and preserve the material as long as possible. All additional photographs and audio tapes that were recovered are to be stored alongside SCP-6636. Description: SCP-6636 is the designation of a currently unknown entity discovered within a collection of unbranded black and white 35mm film rolls, alongside several additional developed photographs found on scene at its suspected place of origin. The entity appears to only manifest while the film is being developed, and the subjects within the recorded photos themselves become inexplicably altered as the process is carried out. The collection of images recovered from SCP-6636's initially discovered location in Redacted includes 2 separate portraits of currently unidentified individuals. Within them, each subject is seen displaying varying levels of distress and instances of bodily harm, such as bruising. Within the currently unprocessed rolls of film, none were showing in the negatives before development. As photographs showing SCP-6636 have been tested, each one appears to become increasingly distorted, along with reported damage to the object as each test progresses over time. Chemical burns, impossibly dark shadows enveloping the film, and water damage caused by a seemingly unknown source have been recorded, along with unexplained indentations akin to fingers being pushed through the backside of the photographs. Oh boy! We're gonna have some fun here. Open Test Log 01. Test Log 01 File Folder. Test Log 01. Date January 9th, 2019. Note: as we process the recovered media, the determinate danger of SCP-6636 will become clearer. The designation may be changed as we continue testing. Dr. A. Elena. Time: 0800 hours 47 minutes Eastern Standard Time. Begin log. Film number 1. Original negative. After development. 001. Water at a beach. Small imperfection. Distortion and addition of color. Large holes burnt through. Film number 003. Original negative. A cliffside. Some distortion is present. After development, large hole and extreme distortion. A double exposed shadow of what appears to be a female face is present. Film number 006. Portrait of an unknown female subject, smiling. After development, extremely warped. The subject is disheveled and appears distressed. She is pointing at someone behind the camera. Film number 007. Second portrait of the same subject. After development, water stains on the outer edges. Her dark hair is floating upwards as if she is suspended in water, though both instances were showing that her surroundings are a simple backyard. Her visage appears akin to someone that is drowning. More testing required. Audio 01 recovered and archived. Alright, let me turn on the desktop audio. Chat, let me know if you can hear this tape when I start playing it. Here we go.
Yeah, this film was a said there was some sort of chemical imperfection, but look at these negatives. They seem fine, which is impressive considering they were found in... Wait, what is that? Are you seeing this?
If the chat couldn't hear that, I can read the rest of these. They seem pretty easy on that front. But if you could hear that audio, let me know, because that would be nice. Oh, that was Billith, who's here in the chat. Hello, Billith. Welcome, and thank you for your guest performance on the stream.
Hi,
All
Billith.
right. So that gives us that. Let's return to the article. We have a photograph. End log, signed Dr. A. Elena. Now we move into the open test log 02. The film canister labeled as 02 has considerable outer damage and flecks of what have been determined to be dried blood. The film roll inside the canister is destroyed beyond the ability to process. 02 is to be preserved and kept as a record, ensuring no supplemental damage. Open test log 03. Test log 03 file folder. Test log 03. Date January 16th, 2019. Note blank. Time 0900 hours 48 minutes Eastern Standard Time. Film number 008. Original negatives. Multiple types of flowers. After development, additional distortion and color, large holes melted through. Film number 009. Original negatives, female subject with a landscape background. After development, subject is shown in double exposure. She appears to be crying. Bruises on her neck are noted. Film number 013. Original negatives, the woman is smiling at a party. After development, she's screaming. Is anyone else seeing this? Is scratched out. Film number 016. Original negatives. A male subject smiling, double exposed with foliage. Foliage. After development, only the male subject is shown. He has a twisted scowl and appears to be trying to wipe something off his arms. How is it doing this? Is written to the documentation. End log signed Dr. A. Elena. Is Elena writing something, I guess? Let's continue on. We have irregularities in the documentation, it seems. Open test log 04. An old leather-bound portfolio labeled 04 was discovered with noticeable fire damage on the edges of its exterior and interior. The exterior is covered with the words, "How are you not seeing it?" scrawled erratically, suggesting a manic state. A film strip labeled 9 found inside has the previously noted female subject shown to be smiling in a candid shot with birds flying behind her. As the strip continues, it becomes distorted with color. The final image appears to be her having drowned, though she is on land. The film strip labeled 10 shows a man standing in front of a wall with graffiti. Images progress with the graffiti having changed and the man on the ground. 04 is to be preserved and kept as a record, ensuring no supplemental damage. Open test log 05. Test log 05 folder. Test log 05. Note: every developed image we've tested has changed dramatically over the last month. Photographs have become burned or nearly clawed through, as if SCP-6636 is attempting to escape. Why am I the only one who is seeing the damages? I hear you. Why do I have to be the one suffering through these godforsaken files? I'm not afraid of you. Is scratched out, so it's just not, I'm not afraid. Audio log by Dr. Elena.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this?
He thinks Dr. Elena needs a break. Film number 022. Original negatives. Group of friends. After development. Additional colors. Film number 023, male subject. After development, struggling. Film number 026, original negatives, she's smiling. After development, does SCP-6636 project their fears? Why do I keep seeing my own? Sentence is cut off. Film number 030, original negatives. Are they relieved that they're dead? Are these my fears and not theirs? After development, I want to stop. Are you seeing this? Creepy photo. Gonna have to dig into that in a minute. End log. SCP-6636 testing has been postponed until further notice, and a new head of research has been assigned. Okay. That's the end. All right. Huh.
It do be a little short.
It do be a lot cryptic, is what I would say. Huh.
It do be a lot cryptic.
It do be a hecking cryptic. Okay, let's think about this for a second. I've read hundreds of SCPs. I can figure out what's going on.
You can figure it out. I believe in you.
Believe in the me that believes in you. Oh, Lord. All right, well, let's... What in tarnation? Okay, so back to the description. There is an unknown entity discovered within a collection of film rolls, and there's photographs on the film rolls. So, the themes of drowning and abuse are apparent. The oh no, I'm starting to get the ring sickness. It's coming after me next.
7 days.
Are these intentionally the ring vibes? Is this inspired by that in any way?
It's a part of it, a little bit.
It's given me the vibes hard.
Good.
Yeah, the photographs read it pretty hard. I wish I could zoom in on that file. Can I make that bigger? Yes, I can. Okay. Well, that's a great little piece. Oh, I see her face now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it is there.
It do be there.
It do be.
I feel like Matt Pat on the couch failing to get a theory out of it. There's the puzzle pieces are there, and I see the puzzle pieces. I see the ring influence. I see the entity crawling out. It is obviously it is torturing Elena. I feel like I'm looking for something deeper than there actually is. I think it's just pretty straightforward that there is a monster in this film roll that fucks with whoever's developing them. Is that the ballpark here?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not a layer that I'm like...
We're in the ballpark.
We're in the ballpark, okay.
Yeah, if I had more time to write it, there probably would have been more to that, but yeah, you're good.
There's the, what's getting me, I think, I get so would the themes of drowning and abuse be Elena's issues then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, I got that. So the subjects in the photos are, I want to say previous victims then.
Yeah, I think so, Like, when I was writing it, I
your
think
article!
that's what I intended.
But that's just a theory. An SCP theory. Thanks for watching. Someone said it in the chat, I had to.
I see it.
Okay. So yeah, I think that is surprisingly straightforward, considering as deep as I wanted to try and get into it, it's right there. Chill out, Sherm.
I mean, you can, but
I
that
think
is
I
the
will.
joy.
All right, so why don't you tell me about the genesis of this article? Where did this article come from for you?
For me, you're not wrong about the whole ring grudge girl kind of vibes. First of all, I had like 4 days to do this whole article. So I just kind of went with what I wanted to, not like write about most, but what inspired me the most. And that's a lot of, like Fatal Frame, Silent Hill, the Ring type stuff.
Why did this
And
article
I
have a
think
time
it
limit?
worked.
What was going on that it only had 4 days?
Oh, so it was the Discovering SCP guys
Oh, nice.
decided to ask me if I wanted to come on their podcast and write an article.
Shout
and
out
so
to Discovering SCP, Tanhoney and Darnell, kicking ass.
Yeah, they're fantastic. If chat, if you're not following Discovering SCP, go do so.
So am I to imagine that if they go to Discovering SCP, that episode has y'all like basically writing and like fixing this up?
Yeah. We kind of started it and then took a break in between, and then at the end of it, we came back with my mostly finished article. And then we just kind of, did a read of it, posted it, and yeah. And I prayed it didn't get deleted. And so far, it did not.
Say plus 100 on your first article. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was surprised.
So you mentioned that if you had more time to write it, are you ever going to revisit this and maybe amp it up?
I don't know. I've been kind of thinking about it. I think I would just write another article or something similar, because I thought about adding on to this or kind of like redoing it or something, but I kind of like the way it is and the fact that it was specifically kind of like a time-limited thing. I like it the way it is for the time I had.
I gotta say, and this phrase gets bandied around pretty often in our community, but it definitely has that Series 1 vibe, where it's very simple. There's not a whole lot of craziness going on. The media use, I really like. I mean, your pink aesthetic is there in spades. But the way it uses the different photos, you start off with the pink at the top, and it's like your thing. But then you go down, you got the perfect black and white ring photo. You come on down again, and it's the last photo is kind of mixing in your pink aesthetic again, but only like a little, so it really blends. Oh, I didn't realize there were 2 women in there. What in tarnation? I'm just now seeing person number 2. Ah, I only saw person number 1 on the left.
There are 2. It's really subtle. That honestly, between the audio and the images took me a while.
So you made this photo then?
Yeah, I made all of the photos, and the final audio was mine too.
Nice.
Yes.
So is this thing... So this thing is pulling people into rather than, like, trying to get out? Yeah, because it's at the ring. Then it climbs out, it kills you, and then it goes back in.
Yeah, I kind of like the thought. I mean, it could be both. depending. There's no canon, Sherm.
There's no
It can do what
canon.
it wants, you know?
No, there's and you mentioned maybe wanting to fiddle with it, but maybe wanting to write another article.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I I was gonna say, now that I don't really have a time limit for anything, I really wanted to do an article that's more interactive. Because I think adding media onto articles is so fun.
If you want to be really tricky with it, I have an article, 5542, Cake by the Ocean. And I wrote that article with the intention of the actual entity behind everyone escaping at the end. Because I wanted to be able to go back and write other articles and other stories, including those characters, and have it be like a continuing thing. And
Fair.
I can imagine this object being found by another group of interest, or maybe, what is it called when the Foundation is like old-timey? It's like I forget the name of it, but it's like the predecessor to the Foundation.
Yeah, I always forget.
But you could use the old-timey version to do basically a second story on the same thing, but you can use different media that way. If you wanted to compromise in the middle of making a new one or continuing this.
That's true.
Because I think this is very solid for just, this comes in, it does its job, and it leaves. It doesn't need to like go on any longer than this. This is the exact creep factor and mood we needed.
Perfect.
Still, something about it is stuck in my craw, and I can't figure it out. I'm gonna end the stream and just be like, oh, that was it.
Right?
Ooh, what is that?
3 a.m, you'll just wake up.
What is that? What is that in the first photo? Who are you?
Oh. Yeah, who are you? Who is that?
Well, it's a car, so.
Yeah, one of those is a car.
It's a rear view mirror. It's a car. It is the back end of a car, it looks like. I can't see. Oh, that's the name of the car. The person who took these photos really likes their car. Every aspect of it. It's a car fashion shoot.
Right? Honestly, every inch of their car. Mirror.
Alright, so are there any cool Easter eggs in here that I haven't found but the audience would think are really cool?
I would love to say yes.
You didn't have a whole lot of time to craft it.
I did not have time, no. The next one.
Dr. Ember, you are correct. The American Secure Containment Initiative is the predecessor to the Foundation. Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Old-timey Foundation.
Yeah, I always forget. Chat, that is not 096's face. We'd all have problems if it was.
That's the worst Easter egg. Don't do that.
Just a few pixels, it's fine.
Alright, well, I will put my upvote on that. I, in fact, like it, which I didn't know that little text came up when I hovered over it. Does it do that in every article? I just never noticed it.
Doesn't do it for me.
Say again?
It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, if I hover over the plus, a little piece of text comes up that says, I like it. And if I hover over the minus, it turns red and it says, I don't like it.
Interesting.
Who coded your page?
Hey! Plus 107. I wonder who that could be. Oh no, I clicked who. Look who rated this page and my browser just froze.
Por qué?
Okay, Wikidot, thank you.
Yes, chat, remember, if you like an article, make sure and go like it on the page after we're done. I put the links in the bio for easy going and liking.
Or easy updates.
Billith, Sherm, this is a normal
A
function.
normal function.
I did not know that. I'm gonna go to a different article now to find out. We're
Philip,
gonna
I don't
visit
hover enough.
5004, and we're gonna
I don't
frickin'
know.
does it? It does. It does it on every page. How did I not know this?
It does. No, I didn't know that either. Okay, siren outside.
What? I think this is the most amazing thing I learned today.
I honestly did not know it did that either. I don't hover long enough on the buttons.
I only ever do it on mobile, so I never get to see this. All right, well...
We're learning a lot today.
See, that is what we're here for, everyone. We are here to educate you on the SCP Wiki.
It's true.
Oh, we're up to 110 now. Congratulations.
Oh. Now I'm just gonna... Oh god. Going down the, the traditional SCP author role of refreshing my page every 5 minutes. Again.
Did you know you can check backlinks through the site tools? I'll up you one more, Billith. I don't even know what checking backlinks through the site tools means. It's how I learn who's referencing my SCPs. Okay, now I want to... See, now...
Yeah, no...
Now, alright guys, this is stop being about the article itself. This is now learning how
Yeah,
to
now
use
we're...
the gosh darn site.
Phyllis, we're
Wanted
old. We don't
pages,
understand.
Orphan pages, draft pages. List pages with a saved
Black
draft.
highlighter based themes. That's not mine.
Go to the
Go to the
bottom.
bottom.
I clicked on site tools.
Oh god, I have to go to another page.
Actually, it's options. Okay, it's options. So
I
let's
see it.
close the site tools. Edit sections, append, edit meta, watchers. The watchers. Backlinks. So if you click on backlinks,
I see it.
other pages that depend on this page. 6635, 6637, and Series 7. So no one has linked this page by itself to their article, but the next ones in series and the series page do. So I know for a fact that on... Alright, wait a minute. Go here.
Backlink.
If I go to this article... Nope, that's not an article. That number's too big. Learn how to type, Sherman. That's also
We're doing
the wrong
very well.
number. You are really bad at this, my friend. Third time's a charm.
There you go.
Options. Page source, parent, parent. Edit sections, append, edit meta, watchers, backlinks. Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
A semi-comprehensive list of Foundation facilities. I don't even know what that is. Format Screw Hub. Oh, that's cute.
Oh.
Scooby-Doo, I Want to Be Like You. That's the tale I commissioned for some reason. 3085, 3087. I cross-linked it in 5886. It's in Series 4, it's in the audio, it's in the tales. Because it has a tail. Cool. Well, that is a neat frickin' trick, Belleth.
Damn, Billith. Thanks for teaching the whole class.
Know.
I had no idea.
Patricia, of all the anomalies we research, it's things like this that get us fascinated. That's right, nerds.
True.
We're looking at wiki tools.
Listen
Get
up,
in,
nerds.
We're researching the SCP Wiki. All right, well, on that note, I have learned something new tonight. I think that is a great place to sign off and start looking at Super Chats. Tonight's Super Chats, we have one of them from the desk of Alto Clef, the desk of women's rights, the desk of whatever horrible things he's doing this day. And it says, here's $10. Well,
Ask, you want to add some notes or a question to your super chat?
yes, chat, this is your opportunity to ask some questions before we rock on with some, make our way to the patron chat. I am checking the stream health. All right, that seems like a nice thing to close out on. So, Captain Rex is trying to create a wiki account and it's not working. This is something I get emails about all the time. You first want to make sure that your email account works because Wikidot is broken as all get out all the time. And it does not accept email addresses that have numbers in them, and it does not accept email addresses from Hotmail. So if your email address is one of those, doesn't work. Can't use it. Second, if you have a correctable email address, you may or may not be not following the rules exactly right. You have to make sure you follow the application rules to the letter, because if you miss something, then they will just not approve your application. So
Make
if your
sure you
email
read
address
everything.
works, it's time to do some homework. And a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading to get onto the site.
You have to read to get onto the website about reading.
Sacre bleu.
That's shocking.
All right, well, in that case, I think we are in a good place to make our way to the patron after stream. So let's sign up the show. Thank you to Dr. Cerise for joining us this evening.
Well, thank you for having me.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Go check out our support links in the description for Otherworlds TV to see Dr. Cerise's Roku show, to visit Toad King's shop for the Site 42 parking permits, or the SCP Anthology books so we can get those neat hardcovers. Like, share, subscribe on your Foundation-issued encrypted YouTube account. Steve, I'm talking to you. Become a patron and you can come to the patron after show. All that out of the way. Be safe, be well, secure, contain, protect. If you're very quiet, you can still hear his pen spinning.